What if my competition knows more about my customers than I do? An example, when I was at Cadillac, we had the world's finest leather in our automobiles. We had leather that had no defects, what we called defects, and was covered and durable and everything. What's important about leather? Any of you that have had a baseball glove or a new couch or car seats, what are the things that make leather special? Soft, all right.
Gracefully with age.
Okay, it's durable. What does soft mean? Is it soft to the touch, or is it soft like a cushion? Soft to the touch, kind of pliable and, yeah. Anything about the smell?
Oh, I love the smell.
Yeah, you're smelling the tanning agents, and so you smell those tanning agents. When I was at Cadillac, we had leather that had absolutely no defects. I went over to the tanning facility in Windsor, Ontario, and here was a huge pile of leather for everybody else and a little bitty pile for Cadillac. Cadillac cows were not allowed to bump into fences and get scratched. They weren't allowed to have belly wrinkles and neck wrinkles. They weren't allowed to have fly bites, little pinholes in them. They weren't allowed to have mange. So we paid a huge premium for perfect leather. Then we coated it with plastic and put it in the car to make it durable, right? So it was durable. And what do you think that did? It covered up the smells, so it didn't smell like leather, and it didn't feel like leather. It felt like plastic. So guess what? Our customers weren't happy. Here we were paying a premium for leather, and the surveys showed us that our customers weren't happy. So I decided it was time to do some benchmarking, and we went out and studied leather for a couple of months. We went to places where they made furniture and asked them questions about leather. We went to places where they made, footballs and basketballs. I noticed something interesting when I went to the place where they made basketballs for the NBA in Cleveland, and that was that they ran the leather through a machine that rolled defects into the leather before they made the basketball. Scratches, wrinkles, and stuff. They had a machine that actually put those into the leather. I thought, what do they know that we don't know? Then I interviewed a lot of customers. After I got smart, I knew enough to do some one-on-one interviews with customers about what they liked about leather, what they wanted in leather. What we thought were defects, the customer called natural markings. They didn't call them defects. They said they were natural. They wanted to know the material was natural. They thought what we had in our cars was naugahyde. They didn't know it was leather. So they wanted some indication that it was natural. So we did some research to develop our internal metrics where we made seats with different levels of scratches and belly wrinkles and things in them, and had customers rate them. Which one do you like the best? And it turned out 0 defects wasn't the answer. A little bit of natural markings was desirable, in fact preferable to the customer. We also developed a coating that would give off the aroma of the tanning agents when the car was left in the sun. Where did that come from? We did, again, some competitive benchmarking. We had people on our staff who had worked at Jaguar and found out that when you take your Jaguar in for service, the dealers tend to put a little spray of tanning agent aroma into your car when they give it back to you. And we thought, they must know something we don't know. We had another person in our staff that had worked at Toyota. They took a powder and sprinkled it on the seat track, so that every time you moved your seat in the Toyota, it gave off the aroma of tanning agents. So if you've ever had a new baseball glove and smelled that new baseball glove, you know what I'm talking about. That smell is part of the leather experience. So we developed standards. We heard the voice, developed standards, and implemented the standards. So you know what the outcome was? We spent $20,000 on research and saved General Motors $3 million a year in the cost of leather. And our customer satisfaction went up. That's a pretty good return on investment. So it's very powerful to know what your customers want a need, and then design the products or services to meet those needs. So what have we talked about today? We talked about how to connect and collect the voice of the customer, connect it to your business metrics, and then use your surveys as a way to verify that your business metrics are good, so that everything is connected. They're all connected to each other. In fact, if you do it right, the customer actually writes your survey for you when you collect the voice of the customer, because the things that are important to your customer are what you want to ask about in the survey. And I want to close today with one story that illustrates a perfect business model for me. I saw an ad, a cartoon, non sequitur, you've seen those, or Bizarro, those kind of cartoons. There was a cartoon that I saw years ago where a pizza delivery boy is coming up to the front door of a home, and a woman's opening the door, and the pizza boy is delivering a couple of pizzas, and on his back it says, "Psychic pizza, delivered 15 minutes before you order it or it's free." And I thought, this is the perfect business model. This pizza guy knows his customer so well that he knows when they're going to want a pizza before they do. Now, you might say, okay, that's just a cartoon. Well, I gave this talk in Fresno a few years ago, and it was a few weeks before Super Bowl Sunday. And there happened to be an owner of a pizza parlor in the audience. Guess what? He implemented the idea. He brought in all his high school kids on Super Bowl Sunday, had them all load up their cars with pepperoni and cheese pizzas, sent them all over Clovis, which is one of the wealthier neighborhoods in Fresno, at halftime at the Super Bowl. And they drove up and knocked on doors and said, "Would you like a pizza?" And he sold out, made more money than he ever had. So it was a great business model. So know your customers so well, know the voice of the customer so well that you can meet their needs before they know they have those needs. So thank you very much.